All right, today we're talking about solving absolute value equations. Solving absolute value equations. All right, so the very first thing at the very top is the meaning of absolute value. So the absolute value of a number is it's blank, blank, blank on a number line. 3 words. Absolute value of a number is it's blank, blank, blank on the number line. Go ahead and put what you think those 3 blanks are in the chat box. Let's see who can get it first. Go. Absolute value of its number is it's blank, blank, blank on a number line. Ooh, very close. Person who just messaged me privately. Closer? All right, lots of positives. The word positive does not come up actually. The absolute value of a number is it's blank, blank, blank. I'll let you guys, here's a hint. Oh, never mind. Don't need a hint. Zach got it. Nice. Distance from 0. Distance from 0. Nicely done. All right, so that's why it's always positive, because when you measure distance, distance is always positive. But the actual definition is that it's, what's it called? The absolute value of a number is its distance from 0, or distance to 0, either way, on a number line. Okay, so that's what an absolute value actually means. Okay, now you guys know the sign or the symbol is this guy right here, 2 bars around it. Okay, and that's, yeah, that's the symbol for absolute value. Now, when we do PEMDAS or GEMDAS, absolute value is its own like grouping symbol. All right, so keep that in mind when we get into some simplification. All right, let's go ahead and try some. So here we go, number 1. Number 1, we want to evaluate the expression. So find the value given x, y, and z. So let's plug in x of 2 here. I always like to use parentheses, keeps me safe. And I'm going to simplify inside here, multiplication first. So 4 minus 8 gets me -4. And now I apply the absolute value to get +4. Okay. Let me show you another one, number 2.
Miss Leong.
Oh, question, yes.
Does that mean your answer will always be positive?
If the entire thing is absolute value, what comes out of the absolute value is always positive.
Okay.
Unless it's 0, then it's not technically positive. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Number 2, plug in z is -6. I'm going to use my parentheses around it. Keeps me safe. All right, and remember absolute values are its own grouping symbol. So I'm going to do everything inside the absolute value first. So I get absolute value of 0 minus absolute value of -7. This comes out to be 0. This comes out to be +7. So 0 minus 7 gets me -7. All right, and that's my final answer.
There goes my theory.
Oh, was your theory your answer is always going to be positive at the end?
Yeah.
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 Not true. It's whatever comes out of the absolute value. This is positive. This is positive. Yeah. All right. That's awesome, though. Yeah. Math is all about actually testing different theories, and science is also too. So that's awesome. You're thinking of theories, thinking of ways to do this. So keep doing it. All right. Number 3, why don't you guys actually try number 3 on your own? And then once you're done, look up and you can see what I did and if our answers match. All right, try number 3 on your own. Okay, it looks like most people are done. If not, go ahead and just start finishing up, and then you can check your answers with mine, and you can see if we got the same thing. Let's see, Gavin, is your video working? There you are. Okay.
Sorry, I just had to step away for a moment. My apologies.
No worries. No worries. Just let me know. That way I don't like call you out or whatever.
Well done. Okay. Sorry.
Thanks. Okay. Yes, Caitlin, if you haven't already, to whatever you chatted me just now. Okay. Let me go in and ask, are there any questions on number 3? Any questions? Okay, all right. Let's go ahead and go to our second part of this lesson, which is now, instead of just simplifying, we're going to solve an absolute value equation. All right, so here are your 4 steps. Step 1 is to isolate the absolute value. Very important first step. I would say if anybody makes any careless mistakes, it's because they forgot to do the first step. All right, so make sure you isolate the absolute value.
I don't have that on my page.
Huh? What?
I don't have that on my page.
Oh, what do you see?
I don't either.
Nothing. It's not there.
We have nothing. We just go right down to solve each equation, check for
Oh,
solution.
no way. Okay. Well, you can either take a screenshot of those directions right now, or you can write it down, or I don't know why that happened. Oh, that's weird. Let me see what happened. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, you're right. You guys don't have those. Okay, so take a screenshot of it or write it down. So step 1, isolate the absolute value. Step 2, you're going to set whatever is inside the absolute value to the positive and negative of what's on the right-hand side of the equal sign. That'll make more sense once I show you guys an example. Step 3, solve both equations. And step 4, check your answers. Okay, are you guys still screenshotting or still writing, or are we good? Holler if you need more time.
I could use an extra second.
Okay, thank you. By the way, if I haven't already told this class already, if we get to a lesson that you're like, I kind of know this stuff already, feel free to start on homework while I'm teaching. Like I'm totally okay with you doing that, especially if you already know some stuff. So yeah, just throwing that out there. Okay, we good? Anybody need more time? Okay, all right, sounds good.
Wait, so what's the homework for today?
Oh, what's the homework for today? Go to Schoology. I'm going to publish it at the end of class. Homework lesson 1.4, click it, and then the assignment will be right there.
But
Yeah.
You said we can work on it in class. I can't work on it if I don't know what it is.
Oh, that's a good point. Look at the top of your notes, Jamie. Are there problems at the top of your notes? Listed? Yeah, that's it. Cool. All right, Jamie's now going to ignore me. Okay. Number 3, let's go and get started. So solve each equation, check your solutions. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a hint about actually step 4, checking your answers. You don't always have to check your answers. So I'm going to give you a hint at the end of the lesson on when you should check for what's called extraneous solutions, because sometimes not all the answers are correct answers. Okay, that's a little trickiness there. Okay, but I'll get to that later. Let me go and show you guys example 3. All right, example 3. Solve each equation, check your solutions. Now, the first thing is to isolate the absolute value. In this case, the absolute value is all by itself on the left-hand side of the equal sign. So it's already isolated. I don't have to do anything for step 1. All right, so let's go ahead and go to step 2. So step 2, I like to split up the problem and take whatever is inside the absolute value, in this case, x plus 15, and set it equal to the right-hand side of the equal sign, 37. Okay, so it's almost like you're just taking out the absolute values. Now on the other side though, you're going to do x plus 15 is equal to now the negative version of 37. All right, so whatever is on the right-hand side, positive version, and then this one's going to be the negative version. All right, and then now you just solve for x, subtract the 15, and I get x is equal to 22. Subtract the 15, and I get x is equal to negative 52. All right, and I would say for this problem, you do not need to double check. These are the correct solutions, and both of them work. And I'll show you an example where both of them don't work. But for now, that is it. All right, so that's number 3. Okay, number 4. I'm going to isolate my absolute value. So here's my absolute value. So I'm going to add 5 to both sides. And I get absolute value of t minus 4 is equal to 5. Okay, now that it's isolated, I'm going to split this up. And on the left-hand side, I got t minus 4 is equal to positive 5. Right-hand side, I got t minus 4 is equal to negative 5. Solve for t. And I get t is 9, negative 1. All right, and those are your 2 solutions. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, let me go and show number 5. Okay, so number 5, I'm going to isolate the absolute value, step 1. So subtract 16, subtract 16. And I get absolute value of 5b plus 9 is equal to negative 14. Now, typically I would split my problem here, but I actually am not this time. And I actually already have my answer. Does anybody know what the answer should be? Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Negative 16.
Did you say every 6 feet?
No, negative 16.
Oh, I was like, are you socially distancing the numbers? No, not negative 16.
Wouldn't it be 1? Or
Because if you plug in 1, what do you get on the left-hand side?
oh, 14.
Okay, is 14 equal to negative 14?
No.
No, so not quite. Okay, good
No
try.
number would work.
Ooh, so Luke, what did you say?
No number would work.
No number
Since
would
an absolute value would never yield a negative number.
Exactly, nice. So here, this is a negative number. Your absolute value cannot ever give you that negative 14. So your final answer right now is no solution. All right, so this is what you have to look out for. Once you've isolated your absolute value, check and make sure that the right-hand side is positive. If it's positive, you like number 3 and 4, you can keep on going. But for number 5, if it's negative, you're done. No solution. Game over. All right, questions on that? Okay, so I'm going to write here, look out for negatives. Nice, guys. All right, let's go to the next page. Okay, so same thing, just a little bit tougher. All right, we got variables on the right-hand side, and we also threw in a fraction, just for kicks. All right, so step one, still the same. Isolate the variable. I'm gonna multiply, oops. I'm gonna multiply, there we go. Both sides by 3 to get that value isolated. There we go. So I get absolute value of 4p minus 11. And then this side I'm going to distribute to get 3p plus 12. Okay, so isolate absolute value. Right-hand side, I don't know if it's positive or negative because there's a variable there, so I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to split this. So I have 4p minus 11 is equal to 3p plus 12. And then we can solve for p, subtract the 3p, add the 11. I get p is equal to 23. Okay, I don't know if that's a final answer yet, so I'm not going to box it. I'm just going to underline it for now. Right-hand side, I have 4p minus 11 is equal to now the negative version. So I'm going to go negative parentheses 3p plus 12. Use those parentheses because you're going to have to distribute that negative. So I get 4p minus 11 is equal to negative 3p minus 12. Add the 3p over to get 7p. Add the 11 to get negative 1 on the right. And get p is equal to negative 1 over 7. Okay, now, before I continue, any questions up to this point? Okay, now this is the situation, guys, that step 4 is very important, checking your solutions. The reason why is because I have variables on this side. If you have variables on this side, that means there's potentially some answers that are actually not part of your final answer. So how you check, this is my shortcut for you. You don't actually have to plug in 23 into like the original equation or anything like that. All you have to do is mentally plug in p into this right-hand side and check to see that it's positive. You don't even need a number. You just need to check and make sure it's positive. So I plug in 23. I know for sure 3p plus 12 is going to be positive. So this one checks out. So this, oops. So this will be part of my final answer. I'm going to do the same thing for this one. I'm going to plug that in, just a quick check. And I know that if I take negative 17 times 3 plus 12, it'll still be positive. Okay, you don't actually have to get a number. I just know it's positive. So if it's positive, I know that this checks out too. Stop doing that. Okay, so I have two solutions. P is equal to 23 and P is equal to negative 1 over 7. So those both check out. If you plug it in and it turns out to be negative, then you have to toss that answer out, and then it's an extraneous solution. Okay, any questions on that?
Sorry. I have a question regarding like the brackets. You said that they're part of like the grouping symbols.
Yeah.
When we multiplied the equation by 3, I noticed that 4p minus 11 didn't get multiplied by 3. So when you have those absolute value bars, do they just ignore like multiplying outside of them?
Oh, good question. Yeah, so what's happening is it's almost like when you have, let's say, 2 times x plus 1 And if I do that whole thing times 3, I can actually just make that 6 times x plus 1. Because
Okay.
it's 3 times 2 times x plus 1, you can decide if you want to multiply the 3 with the 2, and that gets multiplied with the x plus 1. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, cool. Good question. All right, other questions? Okay, well, let's go ahead and do this. Number 7, I want you guys to try it on your own. And then once again, once you're done, or if you get stuck, look up and see what I'm doing and check your answers with me. All right, so number 7, go for it.
I have a question.
Yes, question.
So when I did that, the subtracting 3 on both sides, 3f on both sides, why'd you get negative 2f?
3, I subtracted 5f from both sides.
No, I mean on the, like, when you separated the problem out on the left column over here,
Left column, okay.
like the 3f plus 4 equals 5f minus 20.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah, how'd you get negative 2f?
Oh, sorry. First off, thank you people who in the chat. Sorry, this should be 12. JK. So when you subtract 5f, let me do this in a different color. I subtracted 5f. Oops. And then I subtracted 5f.
Oh, okay. Could you also, because I did subtracting 3f and then I added the 20 on the other side.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
You still get 12, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know where I got 6. Yeah, so f is 12. And then the other one, f was 2, but when I plugged it in, I got 10 minus 20, which is a negative number, which is why I tossed it. Extraneous solution. All right, so f is 12 is your final answer. Any questions?
How come you put negative f plus 20? Why not do 20 minus f 5f?
Either way.
You can? Okay.
You definitely can. I always used to putting variables first and then constants at the end. But yeah, if you do 20 minus 5f, you should still get the same answer.
No, but I got like it flipped. I did 20 minus 5f, and I got that 12 doesn't work because 20 minus 60 is a negative number.
So you would do, okay, so then let's say this was 20 minus 5f. And then you divided, did you divide the negative?
Divide the, oh no, I left it there.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I did.
I think that was the issue, yeah. So
Okay.
divide to isolate the absolute value. So you get negative 20 plus 5f.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, good question. All right, other questions? Okay, all right, guys, let's go to our last problem then. So we got a word problem here. And let me go ahead and have Colby. Colby, can you go ahead and read this question out for us?
Number 8, right?
Yeah, the thermometer one.
A thermometer comes with a guarantee that the stated temperature differs from the actual temperature by no more than 1.5 degrees Fahrenheit. Write and solve an equation to find the minimum and maximum actual temperatures when the thermostat states that the temperature is 87.4 degrees Fahrenheit.
Nice. All right, thank you. So we want to write and solve an equation to represent the situation. Okay. So go ahead and just put down what you guys would put, and I'll put down what I would put, and let's see if we match. All right, so just the equation. Just look up once you're done. All right, did anybody get this one on their own, the equation? Okay, all right, okay. Yeah, so this is a little tricky, right? Translating this into an equation. So the reason why it's this is because I set X to be the actual temperature. And we know that the difference, right, the actual difference between the actual temperature and then what the thermometer gives is no more than 1.5 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's not off by more than 1.5 degrees Fahrenheit. So the difference between the actual temperature, right, and what the thermometer states, which is 87.4, right, the difference between them will be no more than 1.5. Technically, this should be less than 1.5, but because they wanted an equation, that's why I made this an equal sign. Okay. And then so to find and solve the equation, we're going to go ahead and split this up. So x minus 87.4 is equal to 1.5, and x minus 87.4 is equal to negative 1.5. So on the max side, I got 88.9 degrees Fahrenheit. Degrees Fahrenheit. And then on this side, I get X is 85.9 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's the min, and that's the max. All right. And that is it. Any questions? All right, good job, guys. Go ahead and you can put away your notes. In the last like 5-6 minutes of class, let's talk about the quiz. So go ahead and put away your stuff.